Happy Halloween and welcome to the final day of our Ghost Host 2025 Halloween countdown. We've had a lot of fun this year counting down films that featured horror hosts in the movie somehow. There were a ton of hosts that were in films, both small little regional films and some bigger Hollywood productions. It's all over across the board. I think it was a natural that you would tap into this resource of these character actors on TV playing this role every week. Take that talent and put it on the big screen. It adds a little bit of name and face value, a little appeal for viewers to come in to see their guy on the big screen, but it also is a fun way to fill out the cast of these films. So not just for promotional reasons, but also because most of them were good actors. All right, so the final film in our countdown. Any idea what this would be, folks? Yeah, I thought that was what was missing in the back of my mind as I was pulling it out here. We're missing one horror host who is an absolute stone cold classic, one of the greatest horror hosts of all time. Tonight's entry is The Wacky World of Dr. Morgus. Dr. Momus Alexander Morgus, played by the wonderfully eccentric Sid Noel, is a mad scientist who operates out of a top-secret lab hidden above the Old City Ice House in the heart of New Orleans. Joined by his mute executioner hooded sidekick Chopsley, portrayed by Thomas George, Morgus is notorious for his outrageous experiments. In this wild adventure, Morgus unveils his latest invention, the Instant People Machine. This remarkable device has the power to reduce a living being to dust and then bring them back to life. Talk about a game changer. But when a delegate from the tiny fictional country of Microvania catches wind of this incredible invention at the United Nations Science Symposium, things take a turn for the worse. The delegate hatches a plot to steal Morgus's groundbreaking secrets to smuggle spies into the United States. Will Morgus fall for their tricks? The character of Dr. Morgus was created by Sid Noel when he began hosting movies on WWL-TV in New Orleans. The show was called House of Shock and featured Morgus and Chopsley performing harebrained experiments in the breaks of the film.
Good evening. Welcome to the House of Shock.
They were one of the first wave of horror hosts showing the original Shock package of Universal films. The 1962 Morgus film was co-written by Sid Noel and director Roll Haig. It took Morgus outside the lab for the first time and allowed him to run around the city of New Orleans. The scenes with Morgus are pure gold. Anytime he and Chopsley are on screen, it's interesting. But the rest of the film features a Cold War-style spy plot that is darn near incoherent. In 1963, Sid moved to Detroit, Michigan for a couple of years. There he began hosting movies on a new program called Morgus Presents. He also hosted a 5-minute weather forecast weekdays on WJBK-TV. He returned to New Orleans in 1965 and began hosting Morgus Presents there.
Good evening. Welcome to Morgus Presents.
The show ran off and on throughout the 1980s. The Wacky World of Dr. Morgus is an interesting product of its time. Steeped in Cold War plot lines, it echoes worries of the day. The main plot device of the film, the Instant People Machine, would be lifted by the much better known Batman film in 1966. The similarities are too close to be a coincidence, in my book. In Batman, the supervillains use a dehydrator device to turn members of the United Nations Security Council into dust. They are later rehydrated by Batman and Robin and return to normal. The character of Dr. Morgus is an institution in New Orleans. Sid passed away in 2020, but is still remembered fondly by New Orleans to this day. Morgus is one of the original shock hosts and belongs in any list of top hosts of all time. The Wacky World of Dr. Morgus, that is our final entry in our countdown. And how appropriate, a true horror host classic. You know, thinking about Dr. Morgus, he's one of the greatest hosts of all time. I've said to people before, they've asked me who would be on your Mount Rushmore of horror hosts. I think, you know, I made a case for Elvira earlier. I could make a similar case for Morgus. I think you've got to have Vampira, Zachary, and Ghoulardi. But that fourth spot, I would not be mad if someone put Dr. Morgus in there. Absolutely one of the most influential hosts. He's of the first wave of horror hosts. I think Mount Rushmore has to be, I think it makes sense to be first wave. Although, like I said, Elvira could be up there too, so what do I know? But anyway, Dr. Morgus, one of the greatest of all time. Such a creative guy, you know, writing all those scripts and playing that character, and he was great as Dr. Morgus. True classic. All right, for his movie, as for itself, you know you're doing something right when you have an idea just outright stolen, like the Batman movie did. They stole the plot idea of the disintegrating, reintegrating people ray, turning them into sand and reintegrating them. It's completely lifted it from this. It's just an outright steal. I'm gonna give it 3 skulls. The movie is honestly a little hard to watch. It's slower and a little awkward. He didn't have the character down as well as he would in later years, but it is a relic of its time. Looking at New Orleans, the streets and everything is captured on film. That's all great. And just the fact that Dr. Morgus, that Sid Noel made his own Dr. Morgus movie. How cool is that? I love that. I love it. I love that this classic horror host movie existed. Not many people made their own feature film back in those days. So that's it for this year's Halloween countdown. I hope all of you have had a good time with this. I know I've had fun counting these down. Not just celebrating the movies, but celebrating the horror hosts themselves, which is the whole reason I wanted to do this. Last year I enjoyed the shock countdown and celebrating hosts with just a little snippet of it. This year I wanted to spend time to kind of spotlight the hosts a little bit more and really kind of delve a little bit deeper into horror host history. Let me know down below what you guys thought about this countdown. Thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. As always, I appreciate all of your support. And until next time, this is Dr. Gangrene here from the lab saying happy Halloween. Have a safe, fun, and happy one. Get you lots of candy. And until next time, stay mad.
Oh, hello there, friends of science, doctors, students, and of course, those of you of the higher order. I know you're watching. Once again, my impeccable reputation will be put to a test before the entire scientific community.